All right. So without any further ado, let's get started. If in case we haven't met already, I am Rohan from the Hacktivist, and I'll be leading your training for Android bug bounty and pen testing. This is our website, thehacktivist.in, and here you will be able to find the training curriculum that we will be discussing throughout the course of our training. So this is the curriculum that we have, all of the things that you need to know to get started with Android bug hunting, Android pen testing, everything that you need to know to become Android application security researcher is a part of that curriculum. The first module that we have, that is module 1, it is more of a theoretical concept. It is more of a theoretical discussion that we will be having. For the first 4 days of the training, we will be having theory. After that, all of the 30 sessions that we will be having post the 4 days, all of the 30 sessions, they will completely be practical. The first 4 days are theory, so that the base, the foundation, the core that we have for your Android pen testing, for your Android bug hunting journey, we will be able to get that core strong. And when in an interview or when in an organization you are supposed to be working, you are supposed to be operating, so how does that work? You get a very good idea on that. So module 1 that we have, it will majorly be an introduction of what are the various methodologies that we have for mobile application penetration testing. We have got pen testing, we have got bug hunting. So as a researcher, which approach should you be opting for? Should you go and aim for becoming a pen tester? Should you aim for becoming a bug bounty hunter? What are the responsibilities? What are the differences in both of the methodologies? As an organization, which approach should you be taking for your security test? For your mobile application, should you be opting for pen testers? Should you be opting for bug bounty programs? Which approach is better for what type of organization? What are the various test cases that we have for the traditional Android applications? How are the traditional Android applications different from the modern mobile applications, modern Android applications? And in the journey of evolving the mobile application development from traditional approach to the modern approach, what are the changes that we have seen in the security testing perspective as well? So when the development approach changed, the security testing approach also has changed. So what are the approaches that you will be taking for the traditional Android apps, for the modern Android apps? That is also what we will be discussing. So this is the agenda that we have set for today. What is mobile application pen testing methodology? In pen testing, what are the various phases? Then what is bug bounty hunting? How do bug bounty programs work? As an organization, what are the pros and cons of bug bounty for your organization? If you were to decide if running your own bug bounty program is a good choice or not, so what are the factors that you should be keeping in mind? And once you have learned both of the methodologies, you will be in this situation to answer this question, that which approach is better fit for your own application security test. So bug hunting approach or the pen testing approach, which one is better for you? We will be discussing on that as well. So the first thing that we have here is mobile application pen testing. Pen testing here is short for penetration testing. What we simply do is we will be having an Android application. We will be having a scope that in this application, these are all of the things that are to be tested. We will be having a deadline. We will be having the team, or you yourself can be there, and all of the various security test cases that we have related to that application, we will be testing. This is what we usually do in mobile application pen testing. Now it has generally been seen that majority of the security issues that you will be getting in mobile application will be related to the client side. Around 58% of the security issues are client side security issues. So we will be also getting into depth on the various types of security issues, client side, server side, logical security issues. We will be getting a good hands-on on all of them. So what happens in mobile application pen testing is you will be having a project. You will be given the application, you will be having the test cases, you will learn more about the application, you will execute various test cases, and if you find any of the security issue, you report it. And once the report is submitted, they will be patching the security issues. Once they have been patched, you might be asked to retest, and then the application is good to go for production. This is what happens in mobile application pen testing. There are multiple phases of pen testing that we have. The first one is the discovery phase. In the discovery phase, you as a pen tester will be collecting more information about the application. You will try using that application, you will try running that application as a normal user, as an end user, and then you will see what are the various features that it offers. As an user, what are the various things you can do? Can you create an account? Can you sign in with Google? Can you sign in with Facebook? Can you perform a payment transaction? Can you scan a QR code? Can you book a ride? What are the various features that it offers? That we will be learning in the discovery phase. So we will be learning what are the various features it offers, whether that feature has been implemented on the client side, whether the data is being on the server side. If it is being stored on the server side, what type of database is being used? Is it SQL based? Is it no SQL based? Whether any APIs are being used in between for transmitting the data. We will also be going through the open source libraries. If in case we get to see that any of the library is being used in the application, we might want to learn a bit more on that, but that will majorly be doing in the exploitation phase. But we might want to learn on what are the various components that we have in here. So that is what happens in the discovery phase. You might also be doing OSINT, that is short for open source intelligence. You might want to do some quick Google Docs, maybe some of the GitHub docs as well, and you want to check if you can find any of the leaked source code, or maybe on dark web you can find something. So that is another thing that you would want to do in the discovery phase. Along with that, you will also be understanding the architecture as in what are the various things it offers to us: the login portal, the registration portal, the my profile portal, your saved addresses, your orders, whether it's, if in case that app is used for managing the IoT devices. So what are the various statuses that we have, how often the backend call is being made so as to keep the latest check of the IoT device in place, what are the various features that it offers, what are the various components it has, what are the various services that are running, how long is the user session active, whether are we performing any of the monetary transactions. So overall a gist as an end user on that application is what we will be doing. That is what we will want to learn in the discovery phase, that is understanding the application. Because the better you know the application, easy it will be for you to be able to go ahead and directly look out for issues in it. I'm not specifically talking about security issues, I'm talking about issues, I'm talking about bugs in it. The first phase that we have, that is the discovery phase, that is majorly in a word, understanding the application. Next phase that we have is the assessment or the analysis phase. In this phase, what we will be doing is all of the information that we have gathered in the discovery phase, everything that we have learned about the application in the discovery phase, we will be taking that a step forward. We will be performing the terms that you might have commonly seen: source code analysis, that is static analysis. We will be doing dynamic analysis, wherein we will be running the application, we will be calling out various features, we will be calling out various functionalities, and on the runtime we will be monitoring the traffic and understanding how is the conversation happening between the application and the server. Static analysis, dynamic analysis, most common terms that you have heard about application security, may it be web or Android or thick client or iOS or API, all of them we will be doing this in this analysis phase. So in this, we will be understanding the decompiled code in the static analysis. We will also be doing archive analysis. This is not very commonly heard or talked about when it comes to pen testing. All of the people who belong to the industry know it. Archive analysis means the APK file that you have, that particular APK file is extracted, and the configuration files that you have in that APK file, because I'm restricting myself to Android apps here, so I'm mentioning that in that APK file that you have, you will be extracting that APK file, and in that APK file all of the configuration files that you have, you will be reviewing them. So static analysis, archive analysis, dynamic analysis, if in case you have got any of the local storage that is being used, all of the files that are present in the local file system related to that application, you will be analyzing them as well, because the Android file system, it will be assigning dedicated directories to all of the apps that are installed in them. So as soon as you install an Android app in any of the Android device, the Android operating system will be creating a dedicated directory for that application, and in that directory all of the data related to that Android app will be kept. So if in case there is any of the sensitive data like the API tokens, authorization tokens, credentials, PII related to the user, if they are present in the local files, we would want to do that as well. So that is another thing that we do in analysis. Talking of analysis, we also have network traffic analysis. What we do, we simply fire a 𝗏𝗏 or we fire a Wireshark, the traffic that is going on between the Android device and its backend servers. We will be intercepting it, we will be monitoring it, and we will see whether in that proxy connection there is any of the sensitive data going out, or if in case we have to repeat the request, we have to replay the request, we have to check if the data is traveling over HTTP, that is an unsecured way of transmitting the data. We would want to do that as well. Along with that, another quite important term that all of you are quite aware of, that is IPC, that is inter-process communication. You must have heard of activities, intents, intent filters, broadcast receivers, services, content providers. These are some of the components that make up Android applications. These play a vital role in operating the application, in managing inter-process communication. All of the components that I have mentioned here, they will be very important for you to understand, and for that reason we will be having an in-depth session, in-depth time that is dedicated towards learning these IPCs, that are short for inter-process communication. Again, intents, activities, services, content providers, broadcast receivers, we will be understanding all of them. We will be decompiling the app. We will see what are the various activities that are listed in the Android manifest.xml file. We will see what are the various files, what are the various data that we have present in that decompiled folder. What do we have in the classes.dex file? What do we have in the smally files? What do we have in the meta files? All of them we will be discussing. No. So that is another point that we will be taking care of. After that, the next point that we have here is exploitations. So once we have understood the application in the discovery phase, once we have analyzed the application, that this is how the application is working, these are all of the features that it offers. So on all of those features, on all of those various methodologies, we will be actually testing for security issues. Like if in case we have got an application where we can login. So on that login form, on that login activity that we have, what are the various test cases that we can execute? We will actually be doing that. So actually, the threat model that we have created after analyzing and understanding the application, using that particular threat model, we will be understanding if there can be any of the external threats to that application, and as a pen tester we will be testing if there can be any of the external threats to an application. So when you pay attention to analyzing the application, to understanding the application, we will be able to devise a good threat model for that application. So this is another thing that we will be doing in pen testing. And after that, once you are done testing for security issues, you have found impactful security issues. The next thing that you do is reporting. Reporting comes with two subparts. One is the reporting, and the second is reporting presentation. The first reporting that I mentioned, what you do is all of the findings that you have, like on this feature, this is the security issue, this is how it can be reproduced, this is the impact, and this is the mitigation. Along with that, we will also be having an executive summary. In a one page, we will be having the high level summary of everything that has been done in that engagement. That we started the pen testing at this time. These are all of the security issues that have been found. These many security issues were of high severity. These many security issues were of medium severity. This much were of a low severity. So these are all of the things that we have found that happens in less than one page in the executive summary, that is forwarded to the stakeholders, to the directors, to the CTOs, to the CIOs, to the CEOs, for the management level people. For the technical people, for the developers, for the testing team, we will be having the technical report that will again be a part of the same report. The after that, we will be having a detailed report about each of the security issue, its severity, about the security issue, proof of concept, that is the proof that we have found out this security issue on your app, how will it be impacting our business, how much is the business risk because of that security issue, and what is the mitigation. Along with that, we will be having a presentation when the project is about to close. We will be having a presentation to our clients wherein we will be letting them know that these are all of the security issues that we have found, and these are all of the recommendations that we make. So if in case there are any of the follow-up questions from the developers or any of the other team, that can be taken care of here. Along with it, in some of the cases, depending upon the rules that you had set for the engagement, in some cases, retesting will also be a part of this phase, wherein once you submit the report and the developers fix the security issue, they will again be letting you know that these are all of the security issues that have been patched. You can now retest them, so we can be sure that yes, these security issues have been taken care of. This application is no more vulnerable to these security issues. So these are the four phases that we have for pen testing: discovery, assessment or analysis, exploitation, and reporting. This is the methodology that we follow in mobile application pen testing. We have got a scope, we have got a deadline, we have a budget, and keeping all of these factors in mind, the application testing would be done. The next methodology that we have, that is the bug bounty hunting methodology. Some people also know it by the name bug hunting methodology, wherein what we do is, as an organization, we will be registering ourselves to a bug bounty platform like HackerOne or Crowd, and then we will be inviting security researchers, bug hunters across the globe, that this is our asset, this is our Android app, this is our iOS app, this is our Windows app, this is our web app. Come find security issues in it, and based on the severity of the security issue that you report, we will be awarding you. In most of the cases, in more than 90% of the cases, the reward will be on the basis of monetary reward, like you get $500, $700, $1,500, $50,000, subject to the severity of the security issue that has been reported. So what the organizations want is that people with varied experience, with varied mindset, with varied skill set should be testing for the security issues on our application. So we get to see the security issues from different perspectives. That is what we do in bug bounty hunting methodology. Basically, researchers are being paid by the organization so that the organization can fix those security issues and reward the bug hunter on the basis of the severity of the security issue. For example, here we have got hackerone.com. If you go to hackerone.com, you go to opportunities. Yes, Anas. Yes, we did do that. It's just a revision on that. No, no, no worries. So this is hackerone.com, wherein we will be having all of the bug bounty programs. The organizations will be approaching HackerOne. They will be setting up the guidelines, and then they will be listed here. Like as you can see, all of these are the programs that are listed here. By default, they are sorted by the newest programs. If you scroll down in the left hand side, you will be able to see all of the various assets that the organization wants us to test. So you can filter the programs on the basis of the assets they have in scope, because all of us have gathered here to discuss majorly on the Android security. I have chosen Android Play Store and Android.apk. What it means is that all of those programs will be shown to us, wherein in their scope they have got either their Android application that is available on Google Play Store. If not that, they have an APK of that Android app that you can download, and then you can test it. So these are all of the programs that we have, like Inter&Co VDP. VDP here is short for Vulnerability Disclosure Program. Now here you can have multiple types of program. The first category is on the basis of the visibility on who can test. There are two types of programs: public bug bounty programs and private bug bounty programs. As the name suggests, public bug bounty programs are those programs wherein you do not require an special invitation. Anyone over the internet who wants to come ahead and test for the security issues, they can come up and they can test for the security issues in the public bug bounty program. Whereas in the private bug bounty program, only researchers who have been invited by the team, by the bug bounty program. Most commonly, it is done by keeping a look at the leaderboard. You must have seen that on any of the bug bounty program, we will be having a leaderboard. If you are efficient, if you are frequently reporting security issues, you are reporting security issues that are of high severity, your reports are to point, you are active, in that case you will be having the reputation here, you will be having the leaderboard here. This leaderboard acts as a motivation for the bug hunters. Monetary reward is not the only motivation. These leaderboards also play a significant role in motivating the researchers for learning more, for testing more, and for being active on the program, for being active on the platform as well. Yeah. So what organizations do, they will be having their private bug bounty program. They will keep a check on the leaderboard. If they see that any of the researcher is reporting good security issues, they are active, their reports are also on point. So from this platform, they will be inviting the researcher. They will get private program invitations that, see, this is a program, we are inviting you that you should also be performing security researching, you should also be performing bug hunting on our assets. So that is private program. There are various CTFs that are also being put up by bug bounty platforms like HackerOne and Bugcrowd. Winners of those CTFs get exclusive access to the bug bounty programs. Along with that, they will also be setting up some labs. So they will also be getting, once you complete n number of labs, like for completing 3 labs, you get one invitation to private program. So this is the way by which the bug bounty platforms like HackerOne, that are also known as crowdsourced cybersecurity platforms, will be motivating you, will be motivating bug bounty hunters to learn more and to be active on their platform. Because as you can see, there are a lot of programs that we have here. If you as an organization would want to attract uh, qualified security researchers, skilled security researchers, active security researchers, you need to reward them. So for that, here you can see campaigns and top paying opportunities. So here they are giving out bounties up to $12,000. And if in case you do good, if in case you exceed their expectations, you can get 1.25 times more. 12k into 1.25 times more, like this. They are offering bounties up to $10,000, and if in case you exceed their expectation, you get 20 times. You get a double of it. You can get a double of it as well. That is up to $20,000. So subject to the budget, subject to the potential of your bug, you will get rewarded. So this is what happens. I'll take you to the programs. No. So initially in 2010, in 2012, it used to happen that the organizations, they used to manage their bug bounty programs on their own. They used to have a dedicated team. They created a platform where the people would be coming in. They will be creating their account. They will be reporting the security issues. The companies will be managing a bug tracking system. So the security issues that are reported by the security researchers, they will be assigned to the various developers, various team members, and those bug tracking systems will be keeping track of all of the security issues. The developers will be interacting with the researchers. Once any of the ticket is closed, the organization will be having a payment system wherein they will be releasing the payments, they will be awarding the researchers. With introduction of organizations like HackerOne, all of this process has been streamlined. All of this process has been made more affordable as an organization. Now, us as an organization, we need not go to the researchers individually. We just have to list ourselves. We just have to list ourselves on these types of platform like HackerOne, Bugcrowd. They will be having the researchers. So researchers are already there. You are just going there. You invite the researchers. They come to your program. They find security issues. They report the bug tracking. The complete backend is provided by HackerOne. You just have to go there, list yourself, and depending upon how the business model works for yourself and HackerOne, the monetary things can be discussed. On the basis of how much bounty you are giving out, some percentage can be given to HackerOne. In some cases, how much do you want to be there, on the basis of monthly, on the basis of reports you are getting in, it can be decided. So all of the backend process, managing the bugs, tracking the bugs, the payment system, and interacting with the researchers, all of them are being done with the help of HackerOne, with the help of crowdsourced cybersecurity platforms like HackerOne and Bugcrowd. So this is one way that you can list yourself as an organization on crowdsourced cybersecurity platforms like HackerOne and Bugcrowd. There are other programs as well, other platforms as well, like Open Bug Bounty. So we can register ourselves there as well. So here we have got bugcrowd.com/programs, target category, Android. Here Monash University Bug Bounty, they will be awarding around $50 to $2,500 per bounty depending upon the severity. Here, so this is how a sample page for bug bounty program looks like. These are the rules of engagement. This is what you will require. This is what you need to follow when you are testing for bugs on this program. Here, this is the response efficiency, on how active is the program in reporting the security issues, in responding to the security issues, in responding to the reports. In total, till date, they have awarded 155 vulnerabilities. Usually a validation is done within 5 days, and on an average their payout will be $272. This is the data as of the last 3 months. Within last 3 months their average payout is this much. So on the basis of this data, you as a researcher, you as a bug bounty hunter can analyze, can understand all of the things, all of the parameters that will help you in deciding on which program do you want to invest your time, do you want to invest your skills. So here, this is the public disclosure of what are the various assets that they have. Here we have got P1, P2, P3, P4. This P1, P2 refers to 𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗃. P here is short for priority. We have got 5 priorities: P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. P1 is critical security issues on a scale of 10, 10 being the most severe security issues. P1 lies 10 on 10. Those security issues that have a severity score of 10, that are critical security issues, we will be calling them P1. So if you report a security issue on any of these assets that are a P1, you will be getting a bounty ranging between $2,100 to $2,500. P2 is for severe security issues, P3 is for medium, P4 is for low, and P5 is informational. You can see here, for P1 you get this much, for P2, for P3, for P4, for P4 that is low severity security issues, this much is what this organization, this program will be awarding. Here you can see, this is the iOS app, this is the Android app. This is the app that we have to test. So you can simply install it on your device and you can start testing it here. This is in scope, and on this Android application, if you report a security issue that is P1, the organization will be awarding you with 2,100 to 25,000 or $2,500. This is bug bounty programs. In some cases, it will also happen that the organizations, they will not be registering themselves on bug bounty programs. They will be running their own responsible disclosure program, like Google, Meta, Microsoft. The if in case your organization is quite popular and it is robust enough that it will be able to manage all of the security researchers, all of the reportings, and all of the processes on its own related to bug hunting, you can run your own vulnerability disclosure program. That is VDP. Here they call it VRP, that is Vulnerability Reward Program. So for Google, we have our own program. No, these are all of the things, these are all of the services that are in scope. If you find out any of the security issue in them, you can go ahead, you can report security issues to them, and the other processes follow. Yeah, so you can run your own program as well, you can run your own VDP as well, and you are good to go. Google, Meta, Microsoft, organizations these days that are popular, that have got good reputation, they will be running their own PDPs. If you are able to attract a good amount of security researchers and your application, your business model, your organizational structure is robust enough that it can manage all of the things on your own, you can skip out on registering yourself on these bug bounty platforms, and you are good to go in running your own RDP or VDP like this. Now that all of you have seen about what is bug hunting, what is pen testing, I would want to learn it from you on what do you think are the pros and cons of bug bounty hunting. You now know what is pen testing, you now know what is bug hunting. So as an organization, what according to you are the pros and cons of bug hunting? Your inputs will be crucial for us in the next question, that is, how will we be deciding whether bug bounty programs are a right fit for our organization? Hmm. Anyone, what are the pros and cons of a bug bounty program according to you? Correct. And what more? Okay. Vikash, what are your inputs on this? Both, as a researcher as well as an organization.
Possibility that some bugs are missing and people are not able to find this possibility of this, and over the VDP program, because application is live, may be possible, and then researchers are doing research over the application. So maybe it's already a bug which can be exploited by the users or by the hackers. As a organization, I can see this is the disadvantage. Means anyone can exploit it. Maybe a researcher can take time to submit it, and it can be exploited before that. And as a researcher, I can see your duplicate reports. This can be the disadvantage. Uh, yes, and some yeah, it takes time and efforts, but still, yeah, duplicate reports. This can be the biggest one disadvantage.
Okay, got it. Prasad, what do you think? Same. Okay. Sanjeev?
Yeah, Rohan. As per the organization level, it is good to have the bug bounty program because we can get many critical things like if it all miss from our pen testing team. And disadvantage is like we have proper budget for that, or we need to have some dedicated resource to look after the hacker findings and like take care of that everything. Because if we delay, then that may give a bad impression for the reporters, people who are reporting them. And as per the researcher, sometimes disadvantage is like till they like send out the report or something, it may get out of scope, or sometime they might be duplicate report. That's a disadvantage.
True. So what all of you mentioned is correct because in some cases it will happen that as a bug hunter, I'm talking as a bug hunter at the moment, but as a bug hunter, it's quite good that apart from the full-time job that we have, if we can invest some extra time in sharpening our skills and we can utilize them on these bug bounty programs and we can get some additional rewards in the part-time basis. Some of the people are doing it on the full-time as well. They are making a livelihood out of bug bounty. So that is one of the advantages. You learn a skill once and you are just monetizing it again and again. You are refining yourself again and again by testing various applications. So that is the advantage as I see. Apart from that, as a bug hunter, one of the disadvantages or some of the disadvantages are that you report a security issue. Some organizations might fix those security issues and they might not reward you. That is one of the possibilities. Sometimes the security issue that you have reported, another researcher has already reported it prior to you, and you do not get a reward. So the time you invested, the skill you invested, you might not get anything out of it. So these are some of the possibilities that happen, though they are rare, but still, that can be possible. If I talk about it as an organization, Directly comparing a pen testing engagement to a bug bounty program will not be something that we can do because there are a lot of variables that are involved. The first point that I mentioned is that if your organization is not robust, your organizational structure is not mature enough that it can handle a lot of submissions at once, keep a track of all of them, interact with all of the submissions, keep a track of those bugs with the concerned developers, patch them, award, close them. So if that structure has not been finalized yet, is not in process yet, then it can be a bit of challenge for us to run a bug bounty program or to have a bug bounty program. Also, in continuation to the same point, when you have your bug bounty program, your program will be attracting a large number of submissions, and some of the submissions may not be of a standard quality. Though you will be mentioning it in the guidelines, the bug bounty programs will be mentioning it in the guidelines that you should be doing this, you should be doing this, you should be having this, but still you cannot control of what the researcher will be submitting. So maybe there are not enough steps to reproduce. Maybe the impact is not clearly mentioned in the report, so you might not be able to prioritize. The report is of a P4, but the researcher mentioned it as P1. So you will be investing your qualified resources, your high priority resources to that, and at the end of the day, you figure out that it's not a P1, it's a P4. So that can also be another challenge, as we call it, that it has got a high noise, wherein the overall things that you are getting is a lot, but out of that, the things that are important for you that you should be focusing on, they might be quite less. Along with that, if in case you are not registered as a bug bounty program on any of the crowdsourced cybersecurity platform, you are running your own responsible disclosure program, you might not be able to attract enough of the submissions in a given time frame. Also, you cannot only rely on the bug bounty programs for the security testing. At least for once, you would have to get the VA done. Also, it is a possibility that sometimes the actual threat actors, the actual attackers will be coming in, will be testing your application, and if in case they find any of the security issue, they might release it on the dark web, they might put it up for sale, they might be able to breach the data. Because when you are inviting everyone that come and test for security issues, you cannot control who is coming in. So in that case, actual threat actors, actual attackers can come in, have an exploitation of the security issue, and we might have to see a significant damage. That is possible, but if in case you have got all of the things streamlined, you will be able to ensure the timely response to such incidents. At the end of the day, if in case you are running a bug bounty program and you have got a mature organizational structure, you can definitely expect many of folds return on the investment that you are doing. There are a lot of websites like Shopify, Mail.ru, Yahoo, Yelp that have been saved from shutting down because they had their bug bounty program. A researcher or some of the researchers reported security issue to them. The organization actively listened to those security issues, checked them, patched them, and before the actual attackers could have attacked that, they took care of it. So a bit of investment in terms of resources, in terms of money, in terms of time, in terms of skills, as an organization, you can get a lot out of the bug bounty programs. Again, it's always risky to have independent security researchers into your network, into your assets. But if in case you have already done a very good pen testing, a very good vulnerability assessment of your asset, of your product, of your network, you are good to go. Another point that strikes my mind is the quality control. When you are engaging yourself as an organization into pen testing, you have a lot of control. You can control the deadline. If you are planning for any of the regulatory demand meeting, if you are planning for any of the compliance, HIPAA, PCI, GDPR, ISO, any of them. So if you have that in mind, you can ask the auditors that this is what we are specifically planning for. You can also check the qualifications, the credentials of the auditors, that how many years of experience do they have. If in case you have got previous customers, the organization, the your client might ask for customer testimonial, that we will be requiring at least 3, at least 5 referrals from your customers. We will have a conversation with them, how well was their experience with you, and then we will be assigning you the project. You can also control on the budget before the project starts. We as an organization and the client can negotiate that for this complete assignment, this will be the deadline, this will be the timeline, and this will be the budget. So as a client, we can decide that at the end of this audit, this is how much we have to invest, this is how much we have to pay. Unlike bug bounty, we saw that all of the reports that will be into P1, the program will be paying $2,100. So if in a day you get 10 valid reports that are into P1, you would have to invest $21,000. So the budget that we have here in bug bounty programs, it will keep on varying. But in pen testing, the budget, the experience that is coming in from the auditors, you can check them. Unlike bug bounty, everyone over the internet can test for security issues on the public bug bounty programs. The programs, the organizations have no control over the qualifications on who will be testing. In auditing, you will be required to have n number of years of experience and this certification that you should be a CISA, OSCP, CISSP, CISM. Then you are qualified to perform this. Then you are qualified to do this. In bug bounty, there is no such case. Even if in case someone is still in the high school, they create an account, they report security issues, and if they are good at it, they get private invitations and they start looking for the security issues. So depending upon your organizational budget, your demand, what is what is that you want to do, the duration, on how quickly you want this task to be done, the security test to be completed, what is the timeline, what is the scope. If in case the scope is small, then there is no need to go for bug hunting. In less investment of time and money in pen testing, you can get this done. So on the basis of the duration, on the basis of the budget, on the basis of the scope, you can decide what you want to do. Also in some cases you will also see that if in case there is any of the internal asset that any of the organization would not want to expose it to the public, like there are some of the specific apps that are being used for the internal use of the organization, they would not want those apps to be exposed publicly. So in that case, bug bounty programs is not an option. We will have to go for the pen testing. Significant people, certain number of people for a short duration of time will be having access to that app. They come in, they test the app, and then they exit. So in that case, the confidentiality that you wanted to maintain for those internal apps, for those internal assets, for those network architectures, you will be able to do that. Yeah. So this is another thing that you should be keeping in mind when you are choosing which of the approach is better for you. Yeah. So these are some of the things that you should know, that you should be keeping in mind as an organization. Why am I discussing these things with you? Why is it mandatory for us to understand? So that you get a broader perspective, so that you get an idea that actually in an industry, on the management level, when the discussions are happening of whether should we be launching our own bug bounty program, should we be having a pen testing engagement, should we be having a vulnerability assessment, how are the decisions taken on the higher level of the management, how do they think, how do you think as a consultant, as an significant stakeholder of the organization. How do you think of it as a researcher as well, so that when you're reporting any of the security issue, it should clearly uh, tell that the person who is reporting the security issue has a good amount of years of experience, and the way they write, the way they portray the security issue, that they should be reflecting your expertise. So if you know what the organization is looking for, you will be able to write effective reports. So this is about the two methodologies, pen testing and bug hunting. In the upcoming discussion, we will be discussing what are the various pen testing test cases in the traditional Android applications. What are the things that were being done, that are still being done in the pen testing engagements. As I mentioned, the initial first few sessions, first 3 to 4 sessions will be theory. I'll try to cover up the theory as early as possible so we can quickly get started with the lab setup. But please do not skip these sessions. Please understand that this theory is important for you, very important for you. You should be knowing it so that you get the 100% out of the upcoming discussions that you are about to attend. Also, from for the upcoming discussions, please make sure that you have a microphone, just as we had today. In the upcoming discussions as well, we will be having a lot more of the introduction, because initially it is theory, there is not much for me to ask. But in the upcoming discussions, when we will be having practical sessions, we will be discussing a lot. So please make sure that you have a microphone every time you join the session. Now if you have any questions or queries for me, we can discuss them. Also, please make sure that before you leave today's discussion, you write your full name in the chat box so I can mark your attendance. I'll be sharing it with the management team. If you have any questions or queries for me now, you can stay back in the discussion and we can discuss. In the upcoming discussion, we'll be discussing various pen testing test cases related to traditional Android application. Thank you so much for joining in, and have a very good night ahead. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 in the evening. Please do take care of yourself, and you may leave the discussion for now if you do not have any of the questions. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir. Have a good night.